Wow.
Welcome to the 2024 February 21st SIG API Machinery Network Proxy Server meeting. As always, this is a CNCF meeting. We're bound by the CNCF rules, much of which just amounts to please be kind and considerate of all your fellow contributors. And with that, I will go ahead and start by sharing the screen. All right. Hopefully, interesting. I don't see it being shared, but that's fine. Hopefully you'll let me know if it's not being shared. So with us, I'm Walter. I'm from Google. I helped start the project. I'm also the TL for SIG API Machinery. Joseph, why don't you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Joseph. I also work at Google, and I'm on the GKE team, so I have experience with the network proxy in GKE.
Juan?
All right, I'm from Red Hat. I've been a couple of times here on the community meeting, and I'm working now on a project that is using this connectivity network API proxy. So yeah, just to get involved, contribute, and try to help.
All right, so why don't we start by looking at some of these PRs. Fix make-gen and make-gen, excuse me, I can't talk today, and rerun it. Oh, and it looks like it's assigned to me. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so, okay, adding a mod equals mod build flag. I actually am ignorant. What exactly does that mod flag do, Joseph?
So all I know is, and I feel responsible because I'm the one that enabled vendoring at the top level Go module, and I forgot to test make-gen or make mock-gen. But mock-gen, that tool, we do not declare its dependencies in our Go module. And I'm not sure we need to, but it needs to operate in both the client module and the other files. And if you remember, we did not vendor the client module, only the top level module. So mockgen doesn't, and mockgen has a behavior that if it sees a vendor directory, it'll assume vendoring. So basically I found that fix as a workaround.
Okay. I don't actually see, I mean, this is gonna should just affect testing anyway, because that's what we use the mocks for. So I'm going to go ahead, if no one has a problem, I'm just gonna LGTM and approve.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, after rerunning make-gen, only some versioning numbers changed. Nothing interesting changed.
Okay. And let's go take a look at the second one. Fix EDE test for rootless image.
Right. So that 564 merge was fairly recent. I'm the one who approved it, actually. And it's from, I think, Adam with, I assume that's IBM, the Blue Mothership. And it basically changes our Docker file for the agent and the server to be non-root, distrolist static non-root, which I think makes your default run as user non-root, but you can always override it back to root if you want as a user of the image. And they basically just wanted a slightly enhanced security posture upstream. But then one thing I'm confused about is why that PR did not have broken GitHub CI actions. That's a bit confusing to me.
You mean this PR I'm looking at right now? Or the original one?
The one that broke that this fixes, yeah. If you click on 564, I don't see any GitHub actions having been run for that PR. but it was only 5 days ago. So that was after we had those GitHub actions and CI running. So I'm a bit confused on that.
Yeah, I mean, I see you gave it an okay to test.
Well, like if you click the Kate's CI robot merged and you show detail, yeah, view details.
Where?
Right.
Here.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Yeah, right there you can see the traditional unit tests, but you don't see those GitHub action tests like we see them on other PRs. So I guess maybe there was a GitHub action hiccup and it's missing from this PR. I'm not sure.
Maybe those tests are on post submit section. Let's say, I mean, they will run after merge. I don't know, just guessing.
They seem to be more pre-submit.
Yeah.
We don't see them. Do we see them? Are they the E2E ones, or are they something else?
Oh, they're there. Yeah, so this is the fix. And see those E2E? Those are GitHub action based. And so those E2E are missing in the other like previous PR things.
As far as I know, when you perform an end-to-end test and you put it on GitHub Actions, you have a pattern. Maybe you need to include on the issue name, on the PR name, sorry, some kind of pattern to get end-to-end involved. We can check on the end-to-end test directly.
That sounds reasonable. The other thing was, let's just keep an eye out. So we should just keep an eye out and make sure that if we see anything that doesn't have them run, we should pause and then investigate. Personally, I like investigating when I have an example of the problematic behavior. So, all right. So we switching the server to use BusyBot. So the only thing I have on this is I
the
thought there was
777.
Yeah, we should look at the 777. But before we get to the 777, actually, yeah, let's start there. So what, like 774? I'm not necessarily the best security expert, but yeah, something like 774 seems like or even 744 seems a much better than 777. Opinions on?
Yeah, maybe 744, it makes sense because in the end, it just needs to read.
Yeah, I mean, we could also, do you think just all fours?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, because sometimes on etc Kubernetes, we have the core file, and eventually the template gets rendered, and you need the right permission on that. But I'm not fully sure if this is the same case. So yeah, we can check.
All right, so let me start there. But I was actually going to point out a different thing. So good catch, Juan. Thank you. BusyBox, I thought that from the stuff that Tim had been doing, that BusyBox was sort of out of favor, and there was a different preferred.
Maybe Scratcher or Alpine.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. Kubernetes, BusyBox.
No.
Yeah. So we're going to have to check the other. Can I get you to just double check? Because I thought most of the BusyBox stuff had been done by Tim anyway, Joseph.
The question is BusyBox still the preferred image, or is there a better alternative?
Yeah, and let me actually, maybe what I'll just do is say at
Tall Claire. TA. You want
TA?
Tall Claire?
Oh, yeah.
Tall Claire.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
I'm also confused. This fix changes etc Kubernetes, but if you look at the example manifest, it's etc serve Kubernetes, SRV. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if he was just guessing that this is the fix or if it's tested. I'll chime that comment in.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not quite sure where you are with that one, but if you're going to comment, that's fine.
I'll add that comment.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing on this one. That's our 2 tactical agenda items. So at this point, I will follow back to my original suggestion. We can either give people time back, or if you had any questions, I think both Joseph and I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, actually, for now, I don't have any yet, but I will, no worries, because I will. Well, actually, I have one. I don't know if was answered on a PR. I was asking about your release script, Joseph. I was wondering if we maybe can start releasing with using a tool called Go Release. I think it's pretty useful in order to create the tags and also prepare the binaries to get uploaded to GitHub objects. And I mean, I think it's pretty useful at some point. Just wondering if it makes sense. If it makes sense, I can start doing something on that side.
Yeah, sorry for not maybe replying in depth with that comment. I do remember it now that you mention it. So first, I didn't have any familiarity with, I think it's Go Releaser, you said. I didn't have much familiarity with it yet, so I would need to go look a little more closely. And I wasn't sure. My main thought was, is there any other? This is like this repo is the network proxy is exclusively meant to be used with APIServer and within the Kubernetes ecosystem. And so I prefer to bias our tooling to be consistent with that. And so I was curious, does any other repo or side project in the Kubernetes community already use it? Or would we be charting new territory?
That's a good question. Not fully sure. Yeah, Go Releaser in the end is just a helper to create the releases. It increase the same version. It will do the cross build among different CPU architectures, and it will get published on the repo. I think that's basically it. You also have some hooks that maybe are useful at some point, like post and pre, but basically it's just a helper.
Well, just quickly, I don't know if I can't tell if my screen sharing is working or not. Anyway, just quickly,
it's
but
working.
it does look like KubeBuilder is actually using Go Releaser.
Yeah, that's good.
KubeBuilder. So one question, it might be that, is KubeBuilder ever run from container images, or is it more of like a peripheral command line tool?
CLI.
It's a CLI, but it is a CLI that is actually used to build operators. So it's, I think, the most common way to build operators in Kubernetes.
Okay, my next question is, part of the connectivity proxies build and release process involves identifying images by digest, which allows them to be promoted and sort of pulled from a shared central repo registry. Does KubeBuilder have the same? Because if so, then it looks pretty good and consistent.
No, I mean, as far as I know, Well, actually, I don't know. It's an interesting question because KubeBuilder is used to write the code that you then turn into images rather than. But what I don't know is it sets up its own make files. So it may, in fact, do something in the make files that it generates, but I've never paid close enough attention to the images, sort of that second layer down.
Yeah. Because like our proxy server and proxy agent, we build and push and promote images. And if we used Go Releaser to also independently push binaries to GitHub, then that could be interesting and useful, certainly for the version skew test scenario, but it doesn't reduce our release overhead because we still have that other manual image promotion step. So yeah, the way I think about it, I would like to see maybe like, I think we have a certain amount of manual toil and that script automates just a part of it. But I also I've had this conversation with test infra folks, and I haven't heard very much back on that conversation where I've been asking like, is there some structural changes we could make that would allow more streamlined release? I think that might be the starting point for me.
That makes sense.
I can find that open issue. There's an open issue I created on it if you want to look. Yeah, 542.
Excuse me for a minute. Come on. All right.
The recording will show Walter letting his cat out of the room.
542, yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. Cool. Anything else?
I think that's our stopping point.
Awesome. All right. Great meeting you on. Nice seeing you as always, Joseph.
Yeah.
If you do end up having any questions or anything, feel free to ping me. I try to pay attention to my chat, although I have a lot of them. Anyway, it was great meeting you, Juan.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, one last thing, actually. Juan, I think 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, I think Walter was there, and we had El Mico. Your name came up, and yeah, I think we both mentioned we have familiarity running connectivity within GKE, and I think you have experience running it within Red Hat, and we offered to have a one-off sort of pairing session with you if there's any interest to just basically compare notes and find out like what flag tuning changes you may have made or what configuration choices you found were best. If you're interested in that, I'm certainly available.
Cool, that's perfect. Yeah, why not? I think we can find out what is the best schedule for us. And yeah, for now we are using always in the same way as server and also as an agent with the same, without tweaking so much the flags, but it's pretty stable. We don't have any concerns on perform side. So yeah, why not? That's perfect.
Okay, we'll just reach out over chat if you want to do it.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, see you around, guys. Bye.
Bye.